Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, a plane crashed and overturned at Toronto Airport.
Plus, SU celebrates Black History Month. We'll have an inside look at a campus event in honor of this month.
And should you be worried about the snow on your roof, we'll have what the Department of State is saying about this snowy season.
All that plus your weather and orange sports coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Good morning, I'm Benaya Johnson. Thanks for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Autumn Ryan. Here's a look at the top story for today.
Yesterday afternoon, a plane traveling from Minneapolis, Minnesota crashed at Toronto Pearson International Airport.
Our Lily Kocius is live in the studio with the latest on this situation. Lily?
Thanks, Autumn. The Delta Airlines plane crashed and turned upside down on the runway before erupting into flames. 18 were injured. Thankfully, though, all 80 people on board are alive. In a press conference yesterday, the CEO of the airport, Deborah Flint, praised first responders for their efforts.
There was no loss of life. And this is in due part to our heroic and trained professionals, our first responders at the airport.
Now, this is the fifth major plane crash since initial layoffs at the FAA early last January. A total of 85 people are dead from crashes in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Alaska, and Arizona. On social media, many are now expressing fear to fly. As you can see behind me, several comments from an Instagram post. One reading, "Okay, I'm legit scared of flying," and another one, "Okay, road trips only for a while." Plenty of similar comments have flooded Instagram. The ongoing investigation is being led by Canada's Transportation Safety Board, joined by members of the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board.
In the midst of one of the coldest Syracuse winters in recent memory, there are even more warnings for danger. Our Charlie Goldberg has the latest.
Thanks, guys. And, well, an extreme weather warning has taken effect here in central New York. And don't let the sun shining fool you. It's extremely freezing right now. Temperatures below zero. Also, the snow is flurrying, roads are extremely dangerous and undrivable. That's all thanks to the lake effect. The real impact of the area, however, is caused by this effect. Snow being felt just a 20-minute drive up north. The snow is coming from Lake Ontario, where the body of water is warm. When cold winds blow over warm water, that creates snow measuring in feet. This spreads over to Syracuse with gusts of winds at nearly 40 miles per hour and even stronger weather predicted later this evening. I'll be back here later in the show with your full 5-day forecast. Reporting from Syracuse, I'm Charlie Goldberg.
While we may be experiencing more snow this winter in central New York, the Department of State is saying residents should not worry about heavy snowfall damaging their roof. According to the building codes in central New York, all homes are required to withstand the amount of snow we experience. However, owners of older, flat roofs should contact a professional roofer for advice on safely removing snow.
Many people in need rely on charitable programs for their next meal. A local organization is passionate about feeding as many people as possible. Our Maya Alicia is live in studio with more on this story. Maya?
There are more than 45,000 people suffering from food insecurity in central New York. The Interfaith Community Co-op distributes food to about 1,000 people every week.
So this is more than enough.
Because if you need more meat, we could get you more meat.
No, this is good.
Gaylyn Murphy Stanley is the lady who devotes her time running the Interfaith Community Cooperative at University United Methodist Church. The organization provides food, clothing, and hygiene supplies to people in need.
try to figure out how to fix that person or help that person be better. And that's where the social justice comes in. How can I help this person get to a different place and be their best self?
Growing up in a family of social workers gave her a front row seat to social justice work, an experience that shaped her life's path. The organization served the community through multiple programs, including emergency food distribution, to-go community breakfast, and a clothing room. In 2020, the demand for food services increased, and so did the wait for social workers.
When I really was struggling with the management of that amount of people, waiting that amount of time, food thawing on the street, all of the things, I started kind of filtering them out.
This led to the creation of professional distribution, a new initiative specifically for social workers.
Potatoes, are you kidding me? This is awesome.
Each care package is designed to feed a family of 4 for up to 5 days, packed with balanced meals that match their needs.
I have people that have done like 25 years in prison and they get out. Some of those times people don't know exactly what it is that they might need.
Donations come from the Food Bank of Central New York and local food manufacturers and growers. Syracuse City residents can contact her by email at outreach@uumcsyracuse.org.
This past Wednesday, the Maxwell School hosted a discussion highlighting the impact of Black women in social movements and the ongoing fight for justice.
This event recognized the often overlooked contributions of Black women throughout history. Our Sheridan Truly is live in studio with more. Sheridan?
This past Wednesday, the Maxwell School hosted Black Women Taught Us, a Black History Month discussion led by Dr. Jen Jackson. The event focused on the overlooked contributions of Black women in social movements. Dr. Jackson, a political science professor, shared the challenges of researching historical figures like Fannie Lou Hamer and Ella Baker, whose contributions have often been overlooked in widely accepted historical accounts. They also encourage attendees to rethink the idea of freedom, not as a distant goal, but as something tangible in the present.
I'm hoping that as folks engage with this work, and as folks walk away from this presentation, they will build a freedom praxis that allows them to stand fully upright and flat-footed in the today and understand how they can change the world around them if they feel that they're encountering unfreedoms.
Students left the conversation reflecting on the impact of Black women in shaping social movements that we see today. It served as a reminder of their lasting influence and the need to keep their stories alive. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Sheridan Truly.
Thanks, Sheridan. As the cost of eggs and butter becomes a daily challenge for consumers, inflation continues to impact local businesses. Kimberly Westcott is the owner of Made from Scratch, a home-based bakery that relies heavily on flour, sugar, and eggs. As egg prices have more than doubled, she had to make some tough decisions to keep her business running. As of January 2025, Westcott had to raise her prices by about 25 cents just to stay afloat.
Still ahead on Mornings on the Hill, New York City Mayor Adams says he won't back down despite calls for his resignation. We'll have the latest on this controversy surrounding the Big Apple. Stay with us.
Now we turn to the latest on the controversy surrounding New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Live in studio is our political reporter, Kira Saranik, to break down the developments within the Department of Justice. Kira?
Thanks, Manaya. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is set to meet with key leaders today in her Manhattan office to discuss the next steps for Adams' administration. The governor says all options are on the table, including the possibility of Adams stepping down, deciding not to run for re-election, or using her authority to remove him from office, a move that's never been carried out in the state's history. Her call for a meeting comes after 4 deputy mayors submitted their resignation letters yesterday, including the deputy who handles day-to-day operations. Hochul views their resignations as raising serious questions about the future of Adams' administration. This follows the U.S. Department's decision last Friday to formally dismiss corruption charges against Adams. Controversy continues to grow over allegations that Adams agreed to a quid pro quo on how the city handles immigration in exchange for President Trump getting his criminal cases dropped. But Adams insists he isn't going anywhere. Yesterday at a Brooklyn church, he rallied with his supporters, vowing to keep his position.
I took a pledge to the flag of the United States of America. All right. I didn't take a flag to a party. All right. That's right. I took a pledge to the people of this city. All right. And I'm going to fight for you.
DOJ's filing doesn't end the case, however. A federal judge must approve the decision to drop the charges. That has not happened yet. Live in the studio, Kira Saranic for Mornings on the Hill.
Still ahead after the break, we have our Orange Sports Report covering Syracuse basketball matchup against North Carolina. A look ahead to March Madness and the upcoming NFL Combine, showcasing several SU football players. All that and more on Mornings on the Hill.
Good morning. I'm Natalie Simonowitz here with your Orange Sports Updates. Starting things off with Syracuse men's basketball, the Orange fell short to UNC on Saturday night. With this being their second loss this week, Cuse has moved down in the ranks, potentially hurting their chances of making the ACC tournament. Despite the loss, Cuse did put up a tough fight in the second half, trailing by 11 early on and coming back to tie, but began to fall behind again by 10 with just 5 minutes left, ending 88-82. Overall, Syracuse's 25 defensive and 15 offensive rebounds kept them in the game. Eddie Lampkin once again was a major contributor to the game with another double-double of 11 rebounds and career-high 26 points. J.J. Starling finished with 22 points and Lucas Taylor with 10, shooting 4 for 4 from the field. Despite their ability to stay in the game, Coach Autry said they will keep working towards better outcomes.
I give my guys credit. They battled. We were down and came back and made it a game. And we just got to, clean up some stuff, keep working hard, and move forward.
The Orange will be traveling to Pittsburgh to play the Panthers tonight at 7 with hopes of moving up in the ranks. Pitt currently stands at 10th place in conference and is coming off a win against Miami, defeating them 74-65. Staying on the hardwood, it's not March quite yet, but it's never too early to get in the spirit of the madness. Our Maria Wayne Scott is here live with the latest.
March Madness is just a month away, and the race to lock in those top seeds is heating up. The selection committee just released its top 16 early in the poll, and if the season ended today, the Southeastern Conference teams would be the stars of the show. 3 of the top 4 seeds are from the SEC. Auburn in the South, Alabama in the Midwest, and Florida in the West. The last time one conference dominated like this was back in 2019 when the ACC claimed 3 of the top 4 seeds. And these SEC powerhouses aren't just competing for seeding, they're vying for a favorable first-round site and ultimately that coveted regional spot in Atlanta where fan support could make all the difference. But standing in the way of a potential SEC sweep of the top seed line, Duke, the lone non-SEC 1 seed with Tennessee close behind as the current best 2 seed. But March Madness wouldn't be madness without a surprise team. Enter St. John's. Rick Pitino has the Red Storm in the top 10 for the first time since 2000. Their road win over the defending champ UConn earlier this month turned heads and proved they're for real. Selection Sunday is 1 month away, and with it comes wall-to-wall basketball where every possession matters and anything can happen. Bracket up and get ready because March is coming and madness always follows. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Maria Wayne Scott.
Thanks, Maria. Syracuse football is sending a record-breaking group to the NFL Combine. Our Caleb Spinner tells us which Orange players are heading to Indianapolis.
What better way for Syracuse to put a bow on its best season in years than by sending a record-breaking group to the NFL Combine? 5 Orange standouts will showcase their talents at Lucas Oil Stadium later this month, the most Syracuse has sent in over 2 decades. Leading the pack is senior quarterback Kyle McCord. The Ohio State transfer torched defenses with over 4,700 yards, setting a new ACC single-season passing record. One of his favorite targets was junior tight end Oronde Gadsden II. Gadsden fell just short of 1,000 receiving yards, but averaged nearly 13 yards per catch. On the ground, junior running back LaQuint Allen powered the Orange offense with over 1,000 rushing yards, solidifying himself as the team's top workhorse running the football. Defensively, seniors Elijah Clark and Fadil Diggs will look to turn heads. Clark, a hard-hitting defensive back, and Diggs, a force on the line, round out Syracuse's impressive contingent. The NFL Combine runs February 27th through March 2nd in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. Caleb Spinner, Mornings on the Hill.
Thanks, Caleb. Now taking a look at the Four Nations face-off, our Geraldine Paglia has more on this major tournament.
Thanks, Natalie. The Four Nations Face-Off has officially made it to Boston. For the first time since 2016, the NHL are seeing international best-on-best hockey. They started in Montreal on February 12th, and yesterday they saw Finland versus Canada and the U.S. versus Sweden for the first two games in Boston. Connor McDavid got the first goal in Boston after circling out of trouble and laying a wrist shot top right, notching his second goal of the tournament. Just 45 seconds later, Nathan McKinnon would sail one past the goalie to make it 2-0 early in the first period. Canada would get two more goals before Finland finally found the back of the net in the third period. They came alive, scoring two more goals, bringing the game within one. But it was Sidney Crosby's empty netter that would put Canada in the open spot in the championship game. Next to play was Sweden and the United States. Chris Kreider made a statement with a rebound goal just 35 seconds into the game. A long pass from Erik Karlsson gave Gustav Nyquist an opportunity that rebounded off Jake Ottinger's pads, tying the game. On a William Nylander setup, Jesper Bratt slipped into the slot and fires one into the net. With no goals in the second or third period, Sweden would hand the United States their first loss of the tournament. Now, the stage is set for the championship game, and it will be the USA versus Canada.
Bengals, the Ravens, the Rams.
Look at my feet.
And that'll do it this morning for sports. Coming up, we'll have a look at entertainment with Jack McGuire after the break.
Good morning, I'm Jack McGuire, and this is entertainment. Today we're talking about a 50th anniversary show, a look into the new HBO series that's buzzing, and remembering Full Metal Jacket star Kevin Major Howard. Let's dive right into it. So some unfortunate news this past week. Kevin Major Howard, the actor best known for his role in the cult classic film Full Metal Jacket, passed away at the age of 69. The actor died Friday surrounded by loved ones in Las Vegas, according to TMZ. Howard had been battling respiratory issues, which put him in the hospital a few weeks ago. An official cause of death is yet to be revealed. The BAFTAs took place this past weekend, and The Brutalist was the big winner of the night, as it took home awards in Best Director, Best Original Score, Best Cinematography, Best Lead Actor, going to Adrien Brody, and other notable winners, including Zoe Saldana taking Best Supporting Actress for her role in Amelia Perez, and Succession star Kieran Culkin winning Best Supporting Actor for A Real Pain. The popular HBO show White Lotus returned for its third season Sunday night. Fans flocked to social media to show excitement as the show made its long-awaited return after more than 2.5 years. The critically acclaimed anthology series takes place in Thailand this time around and showcases some familiar faces, while also bringing on a new slate of notable actors such as Michelle Monaghan, Patrick Schwarzenegger, and Walter Goggins. SNL celebrated its 50th anniversary Saturday night. The 3-hour special was watched by nearly 15 million people, making it NBC's most watched primetime entertainment telecast in 5 years. It featured an opening monologue from Sabrina Carpenter, Steve Martin, and Paul Simon, and went on to feature cameos from a gaggle of stars, including Meryl Streep, Jack Nicholson, and Ryan Reynolds. It also had former cast members such as Eddie Murphy, Bill Murray, and Martin Short join as well. It was certainly a night to remember. Autumn and Benaya, back to you.
So, Autumn, can we talk a little bit about SNL?
I thought the performance was really wonderful. I love Sabrina Carpenter. Please, 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 another performance from Sabrina. It was really good.
I also enjoyed Lil Wayne's performance. I was actually shocked because there was a lot of controversy around him performing allegedly at the Super Bowl. So I definitely was surprised to see him. It was very good. I really enjoyed him. Another artist that I can think of the top of my head, I remember seeing Keke Palmer. Oh, she looked fabulous.
Oh, yes. I did not get to see that episode, but the Lil Wayne performance, that was great.
All right, so that is going to do it for us this Tuesday here on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Benaya Johnson. Follow us on social media.
And I'm Autumn Ryan. Thanks for watching Orange Nation. We'll see you next Tuesday right here at 10 a.m. on OTN.